so hit the button. What's going on, guys? Mike McIntyre here, All Things Sports, back with a brand new video, and January has seen quite a few big releases, and today I have another brand new boot, so let's get into this one. So we have a brand new boot release review, unboxing, the whole thing today. I tried to get my hands on these really early, but unfortunately I had to wait for the general release like everybody else, but I did manage to get my hands on a pair to review for you guys today. So the box is massive. It is completely over the top in my opinion. These are the brand new Adidas Predator Mutator 20 Plus, and the box is absolutely huge. I don't think it needs to be that big, but let's get inside the box. So you do get this very nice pop-out style box, a little bit of paperwork. They do give you a shoehorn. That is normal. We get a red string bag this time around. I actually do like that, a little bit different than the black standard ones that we've been getting in the last little bit. And then of course we have the boots themselves. So we're gonna take these out of the box. Adidas 20 Plus, let's take this sticker off. Brand new 20 Plus Mutator. They're calling them the Mutator pack or the Mutator colorway or whatever from Adidas. And a lot of people are really excited about this Predator. It is the return of the original Predator to many people. That's what a lot of people are saying online. It really is a cool design. It brings back the old grip element. Some people are even saying it's kind of like an old school power boot. I don't see how it's an old school power boot, just because the characteristics of the old school power boots were very big, very bulky, all about weight and heft and just being a big, powerful boot. But this isn't. This is kind of that control, you know, frame and design and that whole control boot that we've been looking at for the last few years, but they've thrown on all of these grip areas over here. This entire upper is now covered with these very rubbery, very grippy kind of fins that are sticking up off of the upper. So we have a brand new upper for 2020. This is the Demon Skin upper. So once again, it is a knitted material, but it does feel a little bit different than previous knits in the past. You do have a kind of covering on top, but it's more of a waxy covering as opposed to some sort of synthetic covering. So you do get a little bit of a different texture on the upper material. They've redesigned the laces area as well. There are no laces, obviously, given that this is the 20 Plus, but the cutout is a little bit different as well. Again, it's still made from prime knit. You just have a different pattern on the top. It is quite cool looking when the boot is on feet. We have a dynamic fit collar, or I should say the prime cut collar as Adidas calls it. That is extremely high this time around. It comes up a little bit too high in my opinion. I don't think they needed to tweak the collar because I did like the collar that we saw on both the 18 and 19 Plus Predators, but they've done that. And they've also gone with a split sole plate design. So we have two pieces, the heel piece and the forefoot piece. That I don't really have a problem with because it still has a stiffener bar that is underneath the material. It's kind of like this plate that it sits on, and then they've stuck the outside studs onto that. So I don't really have an issue with that. But the new selling point of this Predator Mutator 20 Plus is definitely going to be the upper and that new Demon Skin grip element that you have completely covering the upper. They've offered it in both a laced version in the 20.1 and the laceless version that we have right here in the 20 Plus. The laceless does have a taller collar, whereas the other one is more of a standard 19.1 kind of collar that we've seen in the past. You both get the grippy elements, and I'm very curious to see how these things feel on feet with a ball. I want to know what these feel like. Do they feel like the old Predators of, you know, the 2000s where you had a really grippy feel on the ball? Even the lethal zones, especially the first ones, were extremely grippy. That was the first time we kind of had grip in all of these 5 different elements, and you kind of have that again here, but they've just randomly placed the fins all over the upper, so they're all along the medial side, completely covering the toe box. A little less present on the outside over here on the lateral side, but they're still there, and it's a very interesting design. So we are going to slip the Predator 20 Plus on feet. We'll talk about fit and feel, and of course you guys can get a look as to how these things look on feet, so stay tuned, we'll be right back. So slipping the Predator 20 Plus on feet for the very first time, it is very similar to what the 19 Plus Predator felt like, but it is a little bit of a different feel because of the upper. The shape, in other words, is the same, so it's not too different in that regard. You definitely notice that the collar comes up a little bit high. It's almost excessively high. It's not in the way or anything, but you do notice it because of the excessive height, so you could kind of, Adidas could have gotten away with just leaving the collar as is. I personally probably would have preferred that, but overall it's not like it's impeding the boot in any way at all. So again, the shape is similar, but you do notice that the upper's been tweaked. It is a bit of a different feeling upper. It still has that nice kind of padded feel to it, but I would argue that it's not quite as padded as before, because on the previous models you had these ridges that made up the upper, that prime knit upper, whereas this time around you don't have any excessive layers. There's literally a thin layer of prime knit with a padded coating on the inside of the boot, and then the fins on top. So you don't notice the fins necessarily when just having the boot on feet, but you will notice them as soon as you touch a ball. Immediately you'll notice how grippy that these fins really are, and because of how they're textured and the shape of them and everything and where they're placed, you really do notice how grippy these boots are. They're probably the most grippiest boot on the market, so if that's your thing, go grab a pair of 20 pluses. But other than that, as far as fit goes, they definitely fit true to size. If you are interested in a pair for yourselves, go true to size. Adidas is very good with their sizing. They will fit a variety of different foot types. Excessively wide feet, you might have a bit of a hard time getting them on, but once they're on, I would argue that you fill out the boot quite well, because that is the case with me. And that is pretty much it. So let's send it back to the desk and we'll wrap this video up. So there you have it, guys. My first look, unboxing, review, and on feet at the 20 Plus Predator in the Mutator Pack colorway. I do think that these look really, really good. We didn't really talk about colorway, but I love the fact that they've released them in a red, white, and black. OG Predator, back to the grippy elements. So some people are really saying that this is the true return of the Predator since those early 2000 models. If you like the grip, it's back, it's there, and it's definitely something that will give you that confidence when on the ball. And other than that, I think it's a solid release from Adidas, a true return of the Adidas Predator, a very exciting release for 2020, and it's great that it happened right at the beginning of the year, so now that you guys can play around with them and bang them out for the year in total. So if you guys have any questions, be sure to leave those down below. I'll definitely get an answer out to you. Hit the subscribe button. You guys are already here. Turn the bell notification on. Let's get this channel bigger, so hit the button. Mike McIntyre, all things sports. I'm signing off for now. I'm going to catch you in the next video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Peace.